Welcome to the Complete Game Podcast, where we're all about baseball with Ethan Dungan, owner of Glovehound Baseball Glove Repair Shop, Rick Finley, founder of MD&I Baseball Academy, and the creator of George Foster Baseball, the MVP himself, Reds Hall of Famer George Foster. I'm your host, Greg Dungan. Now let's talk baseball. Well, welcome back. Episode 16. We're glad to have you with us. We've had a couple of heavy episodes recently, so today we're just going to have some fun. We're going to talk about the minor leagues.
A little bit light.
Things that we like about the minor leagues, things that we wish were different about the minor leagues. We're going to trace George's history and his experience with the minor leagues. Ooh. So if you ever wondered what George's experience was in the minor leagues, today you get to find out.
Wonder who.
And then at the end, we're going to play Mascot or Make Believe, and we're going to read off some team names that are real and team names that are not, because there are some wild team names out there in the minor leagues, and we're going to see if these guys can tell me whether they're real or I made them up. So we're going to get started with talking about George's journey through the minor leagues. Now, if I get this, tell me if I get this straight, George. So young George Foster, he's born in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
I was born by a river.
Moves to Fresno, California as a boy.
No? Sorry to correct you right away.
No, go ahead.
No, from Alabama. I call it Tuscaloosa, Alabama because it's on the map, but it's really called Ralph, Alabama.
Okay.
So I moved to L.A. Well, it's Hawthorne area. Guys like close to El Segundo with the Brett brothers, so people would relate to that. So I moved there at the age of 8, and I love the weather because the weather is great all the time. But in Alabama, that's why they only play football. Really, it was too cold there. But it was a great move for me going to California.
Cool. And then, so when did you end up in Fresno then?
Well, Fresno was my second year as far as playing pro ball.
Oh, okay.
My first year was Medford, Oregon.
Oh, okay.
And that was great weather too. And then Fresno was the best, not only the weather, but the road trips. The longest road trip we had were 3 days because we could commute to Visalia with the Mets at the time.
Okay.
But other leagues, you had to at least 6 or 7 days on the road. And then the other part is it was close to L.A. My mom would come up and get some home cooking.
There you go. All right, well then let's go back to L.A. So George is growing up in L.A. You're playing high school ball. And then where was the first inkling that you could play more than high school ball? Were you scouted in high school, or did you go on and play in college and were scouted, or how did that go?
Well, it started in high school. Then I hurt my knee playing basketball. I hurt my knee on going for a rebound, hit my knee on the rim. So I had to stay out a year to get it healed. So then my scout advised me to go at least a year to junior college. So I went to college called El Camino JC. I played there for a year, and then I signed with the Giants. Then we went to, I forget about it. I think it was Salt Lake City that we had gone to do tryouts. So guys who had to decide on who's going to go to Salt Lake City, which is like low single A, or who's going to go to Medford. And so at the time, I was like Rick Finley. I wasn't being honest. So they asked me my age, and I put my age back a year.
Oh, Rick.
But then later on, when I was getting Social Security, I had to make it correct. So there was a guy that I was competing with. I mean, we were the same age, but on paper, I was 1 year younger.
You was older.
So I said I was 19. I think he was 20. They said that 20-year-old should be more developed than that 19-year-old. So that was an advantage there, It's I corrected later on, so it's fine.
So then, did you play in Salt Lake City first then?
No, then they made the cut, so the other guys went to Salt Lake City, and I stayed in Medford.
Okay.
So there were 3 single A. You had the Fresno, Medford, and Salt Lake City.
Okay, so then how long did you play in Medford?
I didn't stay long, No, we only stayed a year in each league. So Medford, but the thing about Medford, when I went there, I'm thinking that you're signed, you're going to give an opportunity, maybe 2 or 3 years to I guess get better. And then after the season was over, the manager said, some of you guys won't be here next year. Like, what? What do you mean by that? And so I didn't understand they're going to cut guys because they didn't have a good year. So I ended up being the most improved player on the team. But it's like, if I didn't produce then, I would have been out of the game. But I was able to produce, and then realizing that, you can be useful but not necessary. But some of these guys, they signed, all they thought about was partying.
Yeah.
And so their party days were over after they got cut.
So then in Medford, so you're in single A. Did you play in single A with anybody else who made it all the way to the majors?
There was one guy, or two guys, not in Medford, but in Fresno later on. I was on Steve Stone, a guy named Steve Stone. He ended up being Cy Young winner with Baltimore Orioles.
Okay.
So, and then a guy named Jim Willoughby, he was with the Boston Red Sox, and I played against him in 75. He's in the 75 World Series. So those two guys. But the other guy, he didn't make it to the major league as a player, but as a pitching coach, Leo Mazzoni.
Okay.
With the Atlanta Braves. So those three guys they made it.
Looks like Gary Lavelle was also.
Oh, that's right. Gary Lavelle played for the Giants, a lefty. Yeah, I think that was.
So, because when we go back to our stats episode, we figured out that about 30% of the guys playing in the minors will often go on to the majors. So you got to figure, for those of us who don't know much about the minors, we might think, it's a relatively small amount of guys. So George is in there with a bunch of other people who made it to the show, and that isn't necessarily always the case. It's still a very small percentage of people who actually keep moving up. So we're in Medford, and then you played a year in Medford, and then where'd you go after that?
So I played a year in Medford, had a good year, and then, it's like the saying of being prepared for the opportunity. So now I go to play fall ball in Arizona, and the manager who was manager of the fall ball team was really the man, and also the manager of the AAA team. So now my scout, he was bragging on me. He said, "This kid's a good player." And so now the first week they had the batting averages, and I stood back, and the manager said, "I thought this kid's going to be a pretty good player." And I'm trying to watch and see where he was pointing. And I got up there with George Foster batting 087. I said, "This is not bingo here." But they gave me an incentive going from that average to 313 to end of that season. So, but now he's really watching me. So when I went to Fresno, getting ready to go to Fresno, he said to me, "If you have a good year in Fresno," so Fresno high single A, he said, "I'll give you a chance to play on my AAA team." So that means I'm going to jump double A to go to AAA. That was a great opportunity. But like I say, he knew a little bit about my history and how I played in fall ball. So being prepared for that opportunity, then people are watching you, give you that encouragement, because you never know who's out there watching you. Because I'm thinking I'm going to go step by step, going Medford, Decatur was another one. I didn't want to play at Decatur because they had all kinds of bad storms there. So then Fresno is the highest level. But another thing that happened in spring training, so the manager's office, the walls are so thin you can't really hear you can hear what they're saying. So you had the Decatur manager and the Fresno manager talking. And before then, I'm out there shagging, during batting practice. Then the Fresno manager kept hitting me fly balls. And I'm saying to myself, why is he hitting it to me? There's other guys out here, but I didn't know he was trying me out to be his center fielder. So something told me to, just let one drop, let him know that you're getting tired of, getting fly balls. The other boy said, "Don't keep catching it." And so he's telling the Decatur manager, "Well, that Foster kid, he's pretty good. I may take him to Fresno." I said, "Wow, I'm glad I hustled out there."
So then you play in Medford. How long does that season run? Does that finish up in what, September?
Yeah, it started. It was a late start. It started like in
short
June.
Season.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
short season.
Short season.
Okay,
Right.
and then when does the fall league pick up?
It picked up in September. Latter part.
Is that run by an independent situation or
Run by the Giants.
It's run by the Giants. See, the city of Medford had working agreement, to have a team there. So the Giants, they had their players and everything. 'Cause some teams though, or cities have different players from different teams, but these players are all from the Giant organization that are there.
How many games do you play in a minor league season? Do you play, 160 some games like you do in the bigs, or how many do you play?
That's a good question.
I have that you played
130, isn't it? 120.
I have that you played
there.
72 in Medford,
Okay.
but then played 121 in Fresno.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I would have
then-
been really off from the Medford one.
Yeah, and then
But Fresno, I didn't play the whole season because I was brought up to the big league.
so you
moved up.
made your debut there, played 9 games, and then also went to the fall league then after your stint in the bigs.
Yeah, I wanted to get seasoning, get more work in.
So then, how long does the fall league run? Just
About 2 months. But
Okay.
the good part about it, you're playing against guys who are top prospects of other team. And that's when I got a chance to meet, Dusty Baker was there, Ralph Garr. So the Braves had a team there. The Cubs had a team there. They had about 5 or 6 different teams that were there. And so it was good playing against those guys because you get a chance to play with them against them later on in your career.
Okay, so we played in Medford. We went and played in Fresno.
Right.
Okay, and then what was the next step? So you got called up out of Fresno?
Fresno ended the season, so I had a good season in Fresno, and I'm getting ready to go home and hang out with the guys and brag about what I've done. And then they called me up. I said, I got to go to the big leagues now. So I go to San Francisco, which is probably the coldest city besides Chicago early in the season. But San Francisco is cold all during the year. I think that it was just that one day the weather was great. Whoever put the stadium there felt it's going to be great here. So I was called up at the end of the season and got a chance to meet Willie Mays, Bobby Bonds, Willie McCovey, Jim Ray Hart, all those guys. So I was a little intimidated.
I was gonna say, what was that like? You walk into the Giants locker room for the first time.
Well, the key, I try to get there first so they wouldn't notice me. But later on, I realized that, when Bobby Bonds came up, Willie Mays was there to put him on the arms and show him around. And so now Bobby Bonds is delegated to take care of me. So in spring, when we moved from Casa Grande to Phoenix, I'm in the same room as Bobby Bonds. I said, is this a mistake? Does he know I'm there? So it's like, once again, I was intimidated. I'm room with Bobby Bonds, but I didn't know that, okay, he's going to show me the ropes and things as such. But in the beginning, it's like I was really intimidated and nervous, but it all worked out. We become great friends.
That's cool. So then, how many games did you play in the bigs?
9 games in the bigs.
9 games. Okay, and then did the season?
Did I play? I don't know if I played or.
You had 5 plate appearances.
Yeah, I probably went out for defense.
But you batted 400.
2 for 5. Do not ask me what I did my first time at bat. Thank you.
But you had an RBI.
Oh, that's good.
So then did you play kind of like the last 9 games of the season? Just kind of to finish it out then, or
I don't know if it's how many games what part of the season.
Okay.
But I knew I had just gotten into a game if the game's out of reach, if we were ahead or they were ahead, or Willie Mays wanted me to go in because it was cold out there. So, but like I say, I was still on pins and needles. I was just floating because I'm in the major league, I'm in the big leagues, and my idol, Willie Mays, I get a chance to play alongside Willie Mays. It's like a dream come true.
well, I'll give it to you like this then. You played 121 games in Fresno in 1969. Then you played 9 games in the majors, and then you played 17 games in the fall league.
Okay.
And then we get to 1970. So that was your 1969 season.
All right.
So at what point in those 9 games were, I'm not quite sure. But.
So then here's my question. When was the first time your mom got to come to a major league ball game and see you play?
Oh, wow. These are great crusts. It had to be Dodger Stadium. Let's see, did I play? I don't know if I played. So she came to the game. I assumed, but when I was called up later, like in 1970, I was called up, and so she probably come to one of those games, and because we were competing with the Dodgers as far as winning that division, and I think I pinch hit. I'm not sure. I think I pinch hit. But it was my first hit against Claude Osteen. But I know Ethan's over there checking, so I can't really embellish it.
That just must have been the coolest thing in the world, though. Is it, not only do you get to play, but then here's your mom who's been so behind you all these years.
She was always there, always supportive. It's little league, middle league, and then this, because she knew that was my dream.
Yeah,
and giving me that support. And my uniform was always clean and pressed. I had creases in my pants.
Oh man!
The other guys, after each game, she would wash it and iron it. The other guys, they made the uniforms dirty, wrinkled, but I was styling.
You were styling. Oh, that's cool.
Now, do you have any siblings?
I had a brother and a sister. They both have passed away. My brother was into boxing more, but when I would go to the track to run, I said, I can't cheat now because he's watching me. So I go there and do my running, but he was saying, "Oh, that's good," because I would break up a mile into 440s, 110s, or 880s, things as such. But I always make sure that I was prepared. My legs were prepared when I went to spring training. So the other parts will come together with making sure your legs were ready.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So then, all right. So then you're back into fall leagues again at the end of 1969.
Mm-hmm. And then you start the year in 1970 in AAA.
Right.
And where was that?
That was in Phoenix, Arizona. So that was so now you have guys competing to be on the AAA team. And every day they're waiting for me to be sent down from AAA to AA. But that never did happen. So I made the AAA team as a starter, and so that was a big jump for me. But at the time, the AA, which was Amarillo, Texas, it was more of the breaking ball league. So I missed that league. So when they had the shift, they could have put a shift on me. They didn't need a third baseman when I got up to the plate in Phoenix, because I tried to hit everything, which turned out to be good from left, center, all over. I ended up hitting like 308, maybe 8 home runs, but the main thing is hitting for a good average. And so I played right field there, and Jimmy Rosario was center field. He's pretty fast, and so that was really a big break going from Fresno to AAA. But Fresno, I was leading the league in RBIs when I was brought up. I said, "Oh man, they're gonna take me out of here." And they're like giving it the RBI title to this other guy. But my brother told me that that's an important stat, the RBIs. From then on, when men are on base, but it's a saying that a reporter had come up with. It was like a conviction. That Foster has a conviction. He doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, and he doesn't leave men on base.
So then did you play the whole season there, or did you end up?
Played 114 games in Phoenix, and then played another 9 games in the Bigs.
Bernie Williams was my roommate. He was one of the top prospects with the Giants. He signed for like $45,000. When you sign for that amount, they must keep you on the roster in the beginning. Ken Henderson the same way. So we were both brought up to the major league after that. Well, once again, backtrack a little bit. So Charlie Fox, who was the manager of the AAA, he got promoted to being the manager of the Giants because the guy Clyde King was fired. Okay. And so Charlie Fox said, "Yeah, well, be ready. We're going to call you guys up." So I got a chance to go back to the major leagues again in 1970.
That's cool.
And then looks like no fall league after 1970.
I was getting better. No fall league. I had to take time off.
Did you ever go to the Dominican League and play?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yes.
I went there, played there 2.5 years, which is great because, once again, we're playing against major league players.
Yes.
The Dodgers always filled their team with major league players, like Ron Sayer, Steve Garvey. So I see if I forget what city it was. Lycée, it was called Lycée, the team, but they always won. But this particular year, we're competing against them, and we came close to winning. But Tom Lasorda was there to be the manager. But when the season started, you're playing against these guys. Because I remember a guy like all the pitching staff for the Dodgers, I already knew. So when someone said, "Hey, you know Doug Rowell?" I said, "Yeah." I had to look it up. I kept saying, every time he pitched against the Reds, I hit a home run. So I had to look that up. So one game I was 0 for 3, and Lasorda was looking at his pitching coach, deciding on should we leave him in or take him out. That was one of the first time I rushed up to the plate to get that fourth at bat against Doug Rowell, and it resulted in a home run.
So do you remember what years you played in a played winter ball?
It had to have been, I came to the Reds in 70, had to be 72, 3.
Okay, so it wasn't after you went to Cincinnati.
Yeah, it was after.
Okay. So we haven't played any winter. Okay. Now before we jump to 1971, I want to ask about workload. How are you adjusting to all these games? Is it a lot? Are you having trouble with your stamina? How are you making that adjustment?
I made that adjustment my first year in Medford, and I tell kids today, make sure that you stretch, you get loose. And I had hit the weights a lot during high school because I went from like 128 pounds wise from my sophomore year to my senior year to 185.
And that's a good job.
I started to grow, and then my muscle mass started getting better. So
more home cooking too.
Oh yeah, I had to work out a lot so I could eat a lot. So in Medford, I think there was a week that I didn't stretch, and I started feeling it in my back and my legs.
Your hamstrings.
My hamstring. I said, "What am I not doing?" Oh, I remember I got to go out there and stretch. I said, but the worst thing I said is nobody else is doing it.
Oh.
I said, but it's you. You got to. These guys may not be here next year, so you got to get yourself in prime condition. And after that, I was fine. So I learned that from Medford, that even when they got to the big leagues, I'm running my 4 sprints, foul pole to foul pole, to make sure that I'm ready. Because I don't want to have a time that I'm tight and I pull a muscle. Right. And a lot of these guys today, you go there, they're going through the motion as far as getting loose. But nobody goes run those 4 pole to pole before a game. The tougher one was in Atlanta. I mean, it's so hot in Atlanta, but you got to get your body ready for it, and so acclimated for it. So I would go and do my 4 sprints, then I'm used to it. But other guys, it's too hot. I'm gonna save it for the game.
So then we finish up in 70. We go to 1971. And so
you start out with the Major League club.
I start out with the Major League club, and
you split the year in 70 in AAA in the big league. So at what point is it communicated to you that you're going to start the season with the big league club?
Spring training. I had a good spring training.
Okay.
And they let me know you made the team. Okay. But then at that time I was getting, I guess, a little rattled because I'm playing every day. Like, give me a break. But they were saying, well, you're going to make the big league. It was funny. I think back, said, you're going to play a lot in spring training, so you're not going to play a lot when the season starts. So that was really the message that were given to me. But we played places like Palm Springs. And man, it was so hot there to play in Palm Springs. But playing in Phoenix, I always loved playing in warm weather places. So, like say Fresno, Medford, and going to Palm Springs and Phoenix, and then when I was sent back down from the Reds in 73, I played in Indianapolis, where it was nice and warm.
Okay, so you start the year in 71. You play 36 games, and mostly in left field, I assume?
Yes. Well, there was a guy in center field that I tried to beat him out, but he had the credentials. But what was exciting, we got off to a great start. We're like 14 games in first place. This is around mid-May or so, and I'm playing every day, and all of a sudden I wasn't playing. Like, why am I not playing? So I'm checking I said, okay, my feet are good, my knees are good. I'm not hurt. Why am I not playing? Because you have Hallinier, a shortstop out in left field taking fly balls. I said, what's going on? Then Frank Johnson, my roommate, he was listening to the game on the radio broadcast. He said, Roomy, you got traded. Like, this is not funny. So later on, I was the last one to leave the bench because I'm saying maybe it's not really true, or maybe if I don't go in, I won't get the message. So I was the last one I said to go, and then the clubhouse guy said, well, the manager want to see you. Yeah, he was excited because they're in first place. And you got traded. If it make you feel any better, we got 2 guys for you. But here I am, my first full year. I'm thinking that I'm thinking going to the World Series.
Yeah.
And but it was a delay. You were on delay. But the Giants organization did not repeat as a contender to 1990. So it turned out great for me because Willie Mays got traded that winter.
Mets, right.
Bobby Bonds left. Gaylord Perry left. So most of those guys, the nucleus of that team had left. And I said, wow, I go to Cincinnati. Because when I first played in Cincinnati, I said, wow, this weather is great. I love to play here. So I think somebody heard me. And so we're going to trade for that kid. So I ended up getting traded, I know it's around Memorial Day. Mm-hmm. And so coming to the Giants. So coming to the Reds.
Are you saying that's the curse of trading George Foster?
No, what was it? Karma. It's karma.
Okay.
Hey, before being traded to the Reds, did you play here before?
I played here against the Reds.
Okay.
And I actually played
at Crossley, right?
Because I was brought, it had to have been the 70 when I was brought up. Okay. So I didn't play, but I took fly balls and everything out there. And at a terrace, they didn't have your name on your back, so they didn't know who I was. So I fell on the terrace, and they're like, "God, look at that clumsy guy out there," but they didn't know my name. But I saw Johnny Bench hit a home run against Juan Marshall. The distance was 308.
Oh, goodness.
Down the left field line was 308.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
So then let's talk about. So the very first time, so this would have been, I don't know, the year before when they first bring you up. The first time, or at least a time that you remember being in the outfield and you're there and Willie Mays is just like over there.
Yes.
And when does it sink in? I'm on the same field with Willie Mays.
Okay, the center fielder is the captain.
Right.
And she's supposed to call for the ball, but Willie Mays wouldn't call for the ball. And this is a true story. I don't know the reason why you end up going to Japan, but Bobby Taylor collided with Willie Mays, and the next year he was in Japan. But I really had nightmares knowing that if I collide with Willie Mays, my career is over. But everything worked out, but I mean, playing Willie Mays is to my left. Like, oh man, this is great. Do you have Bobby? I mean, this is a great outfield. But we call it the Soul Patrol,
So, along those lines, a lot of times you hear rookies having a kind of a welcome to the big leagues moment where they're really humbled and it's like, oh man, this is the show. Maybe it's they get struck out by triple digits for the first time, or they get thrown out stealing a base because they thought they could get away with it. Did you have one of those like humbling, like, oh wow, this is another level kind of moments?
I realized there's another level, and you try to do more than like being a home run hitter, knowing that you're a singles hitter. So I said, if this guy throws it over the plate, I'm going to hit it. But he knew that I was nervous, I was anxious. It was against the Braves. I think it was LeMaster's last name, and so I ended up striking out my first time up, but my timing was good, but my discipline wasn't that good. So I needed my pitcher wedge for the pitches that I was swinging at. And I said, man, why don't he if he throw me a strike, I'm fine. But he knew that I'm going to make him go at bad pitches.
Oh my goodness,
that's funny.
All right, so we're at the trade then.
Okay, so let's back up a little bit because I have another question.
Okay, go ahead.
So from the time you start in Medford, at what point in time do you actually make enough money to survive?
Oh.
And before that, what other ththings are you doing to pay bills and get by?
Well, it started when you, Fresno, Medford, I don't know what, $250 a week or something like that. But I know in Fresno we're making $500 a week. But at that time I didn't have any bills, so it wasn't a big deal. You had the money to buy groceries and things as such. I wasn't a big spender.
Right.
So, but in AAA, that's when I started to, I guess, try to negotiate with the owner. But up to then, you're just thinking about getting the opportunity to play every day. But there was a sign in Medford. If you hit the ball over this sign, you get a free pair of shoes. Guess what? That was my target. So I did that twice. I get 2 pair of brand new shoes. So that was money I was able to save. Because in the beginning, you're thinking that, are these shoes really, are they made of cardboard or what? Or is this really legit? So I went down there and but I wasn't selfish. My roommate, I let him pick a pair out.
Okay.
But a brand new pair of shoes, that was something that I could need and use.
That's pretty cool. So you finished the season last year, exhausted from all the travel and the tournaments, and you tossed your gear in a bag where it's been sitting all winter. Now you're ready for another year, but your favorite glove that fits just right is an error waiting to happen. The leather's dry, the laces are brittle, and this year you're on a new team with new colors, and it sure would be cool if it matched. Well, wouldn't it be great if you had a glove guy who could help you out with that? You do. His name is Ethan, and he owns Glovehound Baseball Glove Repair Shop in Fairfield, Ohio. Just contact him at glovehound.com and upload pictures of your glove. He'll give you a call back to talk it over, and then you can send it in for a repair, relace, recondition, whatever you need. If you're in the area, you can even just stop by the shop. That way you don't have to bother with shipping, and a lot of times he can even fix it while you wait. Rawlings, Wilson, Mizuno, All-Star, Nakona, he's seen them all, and he's helped players at all levels, from beginners to pros. Last year, he worked on a glove that Jose Trevino used in the World Series, and he can help you too. You can find Glovehound on Google, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at glovehound.com. You're only going to get busier, so reach out today and give your glove the love it deserves at Glovehound. So we get traded to Cincinnati. And you fly over here, you get ready to go, you're going to your first game. Okay. Who's the first Cincinnati Red that you meet when you get here?
Good lead-in. Because with some teams, the veteran players do not speak to you, the rookie.
Okay.
And so I was confronted with that with the Giants, but it wasn't a big deal because Willie Mays, Bobby Bonds, they were the top guys, but there are a couple of other guys that would not speak to you. And so they don't accept you the first year, but the next year they did. So he's passed away now, but Gaylord Perry was one that really stood out. He wouldn't say anything to you. And I was nervous playing the outfield because I didn't want to make a mistake because he would turn around or tell the manager, get that kid out of here. he's messing up my game. So I'm playing now and then. And so I played against, I think, the Braves and went 4 for 4, and they got maybe 3 or 4 RBIs. And here comes Gaylord Perry sitting next to me, like, what should I say here? He said, well, you should go tell the manager to put you in the game. And one thing I'm thinking, why are you bothering me? And I'm not going to go to the manager and tell him that. So now when I get traded to the Reds, I felt it was the same idea, that nobody's going to talk to me. But I found out later on, that's why we become buddies, and he become one of not only my top player, friends, but also my mom, Pete Rose. So I didn't know that Willie Mays had called to Cincinnati and told Pete Rose to take care of that kid.
Oh.
And then when Pete Rose spoke to me, I'm looking around, I was like, yeah, I'm talking to you. So wow, then I really felt at home. I feel accepted, being part of the family. But up to then, I'm walking around. I don't want to be noticed,
Right.
Get there, get early, get on the bench, and they won't notice you. But then and there, that's when I really felt part of the team. But I didn't know Willie Mays was really that great of a supporter of George Foster.
That's good.
But that was a great feeling.
So then the dynamic duo, when did you first meet Griffey?
Oh, when I was set down in 73, so I forget where we're probably in Oklahoma City. So I was rooming with Hal King at the time. So Hal King, he's a guy that loves the nightlife. And so I said, the first time I gave him an opportunity, but then after that, he was coming in late, so it's disturbing my rest. So I ended up, this is a story, I don't remember it all, but this is a story that Hal King said that I would put his suitcase outside the door. So you're not coming in curfew. And so Hal King said, because Hal King and Dreesen were running partners. Okay. And so Griffey and Dreesen were together. And so Hal King said to Griff, why don't you room with George? And he said, why? Because I'm getting tired of paying hotel bills. So we switched rooms, and then for my first maybe a couple of weeks, I didn't say anything. And so Griff's from Denora, Pennsylvania, and he had said something that from then on, they said, now that's what started him talking. So he said, when I say something, if somebody doesn't say something, I'm gonna beat their butts. and like, here I am from LA, close to Watts, and he said that to me. All I could do is start laughing. So, but that's the start of a great friendship, and when I had been sent down in '73.
Oh, that's cool. Well, that brings us to what you want
I
to
was
talk
gonna
about
say,
next.
so you in '71, I've got that you played 104 games in Cincinnati, and then in '72 you played 59. And then they send you down in Did you start the year in AAA in '73?
Yes, I was sent down from spring training, and this shows you that you got to be cognizant or notice what's going on. So we had 26 guys on the roster. It was like 3 or 4 days to go, and so you're thinking that we got to send somebody down. I'm not thinking it's going to be me, and so every time I go to the clubhouse, I'm looking around and see if a coach is coming towards me. If he were, I would go another area. So I'm just sitting there talking, and all of a sudden somebody touched me on the shoulder and said, the manager want to see you. So he called me in and said, we're going to send you down to get seasoning. But it turned out to be great because I wasn't playing a lot in '72, so I had to get my confidence back and my skill level back up. So playing in AAA at Indianapolis in '73 really did me a favor. But I ended up hitting, I think, 15 home runs, 60 RBIs, but that was the pivotal time because now the Chief Bender, who's head of player personnel, came down telling guys what's going to happen next year. So I was like a shadow following him, saying, what's going on? Am I going to be here, or what's going to happen? So then they brought me back up in '73 because we won that division. That we ended up losing against the Mets, and it wasn't karma, Ethan, but I knew if the Reds would have beaten the Mets that year or got into the World Series, I would have been traded. Because a lot of teams, they don't make a lot of moves if they win. So we lost against the Mets, so then I got another opportunity to play. So in '74, I was being platoon, I was doing well. But being ready for that opportunity was a big deal. But in '72, I wasn't playing much because when I first come to the Reds, I was batting second. I said, this is different batting second. But that's when it came as far as playing on a regular basis, getting fatigued and not really having time to regroup. But you got to go out there. You can't tell the manager, just your first year in the Major League, tell you, man, I'm tired.
Yeah, right.
So, but it ended up well. But like I said, in '72, I think my batting average was at right on 200. Mm-hmm. And he had me to pinch hit. And I was up there, I'm ducking these pitches, when the umpire said ball 4, I said, yes. Because I said, if I swing and hit, that my average, I can't see my average being under 200, 195 or 199. So it ended up at 200, but there was the one that stood out. I scored the winning run to win the playoffs against the Pirates, and so the next year, every time the Reds would come on, even though I wasn't in the big leagues, it was me scoring. And so I was at this hotel, Sheraton Gibson, and there was a cafe there. In the beginning, not many people were there. And then later on, I said, wow, these people here. They were telling them that George Foster comes here. Everybody wanted to come and see George Foster. So I didn't know that at the time. At the time, I said, wow, if I had Ethan to be my agent, I could get endorsements. But yeah.
So how fitting if Pete was your first person that you met
Star
and kind
player.
of went to look out for you, how fitting that it was his move to third base that got you in the first place and got you regularly on the field.
But that shows you him not being a team player, being selfish. Because but it started also with him. He had challenges. So when he started as a second baseman, a lot of the guys didn't like that because a friend of theirs was going to lose a job. So now I can say it on the air, most of the white players wouldn't talk to him. And so that's when he hung around with Beta Pinson, Frank Robinson, those guys.
Right.
And so he saw what happened to him. And so after that, he was always a team player. Whatever he could do to help the team win. So then later on, when Tommy Helms came up, he went to right field. And then, of course, he was in left field and went to third base when I was ready to play. But here's a team player. But once he was an all-star at third base, and not because of his bat, but he did a good job there.
Yeah.
Was Leo Cardenas?
I think Leo
was he gone by the time?
He was gone when
I
yeah.
thought so.
But the sad part about it, when I came to the Reds, it was they had to let a player go, and it was Willie Smith. And I saw him at the time. I didn't know what was going on. He was in the clubhouse smoking many packs of cigarettes, nervous on if he's going to get traded or he's going to get released. So I don't know what happened after that, but it was sad to see that's happening. I mean, but it's a business. But when I came over because Bobby Tolan got hurt.
Right.
So, and then the Giants, they had abundance of outfielders. So they felt I was expendable.
So then you're playing. Then you're down in Indianapolis. And then when do they call you back up? What's that about?
They called me back up the end of that season. They are there, and so I got a chance to come back up. I think
September.
In September.
Like
So Griffey and Dreesen had been called up earlier. And so I go to the clubhouse, like, where's everybody? So I was looking at my locker. I said, maybe I got a letter here. No, but I stayed the rest of the season there in AAA. But once again, it's helpful to me to really get my mind ready again to play in the major league level. So when I got back, I was more inclined to knowing what I needed to do.
Yeah, what was it that helped you as my grandmother would say, get your mind right? What was it that helped you? Because it had to have been disappointing, and yet at the same time, you're going, okay, I can see this as an opportunity or not. And so what was it that helped you orient yourself and get ready to say, to come back up and be there?
Well, it's going back to my mom. She was always there, not only physically supporting, but mentally said that this is something that you wanted to do, and make sure that you go out there and give your best so you don't have any regrets. And, it was a feeling that, because I wasn't playing much and I didn't really feel part of the team, and that was a good move, ended up being a good move for me going to AAA. But today's game, if guys had a batting average, guys who having 200 batting average and playing a whole year, they would have been sent down or released when we were playing. But I'm at the borderline of 200, and so I just needed the playing time. I didn't really realize what I needed, but I needed the playing time. And I knew that sitting on the bench, my career was slowly ending. Mm-hmm. But my mom was there and said, this is what you want to do. Put your best foot forward, and you don't want to have any regrets. Because there was one guy, when I was in high school, he said, I can't figure this out. I'm like, what is he trying to do, a math problem or what? I can't figure it out. He said, I was better than you in high school. I said, yeah. And then he said, I can't figure out what happened. I said, well, you start working at it.
Yep, there you go.
I said, yeah, you start working at it because you thought I didn't tell him that, but he thought he was so good he didn't need to keep working at it. It's just going to all come to him. But that and my mom being there, always being positive.
That's cool. Ethan is more than my podcast partner. He's my son. And like every baseball parent, my first priority was his development as a player. Every year, we'd start out with a new coach and a new team, making new promises, only to end up playing the same old tournaments with little to no practice in between. You know what I'm talking about. That's why I'm so thankful that we found MD&I Academy. I first met Coach Rick over a decade ago when Ethan was just a kid, and I'll never forget the relief I felt watching his first lesson. I knew right then that no matter what team he played for, my son would have amazing, consistent instruction from someone who cared. Rick has trained baseball and softball players at the select, travel, and even college levels, so I knew that Ethan could continue his excellence through training approach for his whole baseball career. He learned hitting, pitching, catching, fielding, and more all in one place. Most of all, he learned to love the greatest game in the world and how to play it with character and integrity. So if you're wearing yourself out, running all over town to multiple teachers, or worse, you're counting on that new select coach to actually develop your child, you need to check out MD&I Academy today. Go to mdaiacademy.com and contact Coach Rick to learn how you can get all the baseball instruction you need from someone who cares about your favorite player as much as you do at MD&I Academy. Rick, what do you feel are the advantages of having the major or the minor league system for developing young baseball players?
Just what it says, development, getting more at bats, just developing their skill, and just to see where you're at. And right now, there's so many different levels of it. You've got rookie ball, then you go to single A, high A, double A, triple A. So you've got a lot of levels to continue developing and get better. I think George hit on something too that depending on what your signing bonus is or your slot money is, then those guys going to get a little bit more of a leeway, a longer rope to advance a little bit more because they invested more. Yeah, they invested more money versus the guy, like say for Albert Pujols that was low round, very low round, or well, they would say high round. 50 the odds are Mike Piazza. Those guys are. It's going to be a little bit harder, but sometimes luck, people falling, don't producing, and I think George hit on something too. Is you have to have confidence, take advantage of the opportunity, and just got to keep grinding. Yeah.
Think about that, George. Like, okay, so let's take right out of high school George Foster versus having made it through several leagues of the minors, George Foster. How much more prepared and how beneficial was that minor league experience for you? Would you have even survived, time in the bigs?
It had been a challenge to survive because I hadn't faced that caliber of play.
Yeah.
And then also maturing physically. Yeah. So that those
mentally
things really help. But to step back, when you talk about confidence carry you through the self-doubt doubts that you would have.
Yeah.
But playing in the minor leagues helped me to grow. And you're getting more at bats, see what you can do, how consistent you can be, and working on your stamina. Because these guys, you look at guys today, they get tired around July or so. Mm-hmm. And that's when, maybe at top, like I remember Ken Reitz, he was leading the league like April, 400 batting average. Then as the season progresses, his average started going down because he's getting fatigued. But the minor league, I felt, is really great. But today's game, when Rick was talking about slots, these guys are, in 2 years, they're in the major league.
Yeah.
You see now certain prospects going to start today, have their debut. So they're running them through the system quicker, so you must be ready.
Yeah.
And college, they're looking at college as being the farm club for Major League Baseball. And they're going, I tell people, once you get that opportunity, take that opportunity because it may not happen again. But I go into these different cities and, like say, playing against the Dodgers a lot, I got a chance to learn about their pitching. Charlie Huff, I said Doug Rowell earlier. So I know those guys.
So then let's talk about just basic maturity too. Yes. So like you got an 18-year-old kid versus somebody who's now 22
or older.
And you got a kid who's become a young man now. He's learned how to pay his bills and organize his life, take care of himself.
Do his laundry.
Get himself somewhere on time.
Right.
Just basic grown-up skills. How valuable is that to be able to then not be a mess if they call you up?
But it's that I use the term learning life skills through the game.
Yeah.
And you need to know that. Not waiting. A good example, waiting on someone to, okay, it's time to get on the bus. You got to be able to calculate that for yourself. Being able to, how to do laundry.
Yes.
My first year, guys didn't know how to do laundry. No. My mom taught me how to do laundry.
Well, I was gonna say that the pressure's on now. If she's not there to iron your pants,
Right.
are you getting the job done or
I'm
what?
not ironing them, but
Is she calling you up going, George?
Oh,
there's a standard here.
Oh no, the one thing. So back in those days, the refrigerators they're not self-defrosting.
Yeah.
So now it's all iced up, and like, how do I do that? Well, you got to get can or what is it, a big container of hot water and put it in there.
Yeah, so it could melt.
It could melt. But what I did, I just propped the stick against the freezer door so it wouldn't open.
Yes.
But when she came there, she did it for me. But learning those life skills makes it very important.
The travel also. I have a lot of friends that played in the minors, and the travel will break you down. It'll and you go to certain cities and everything. The bus rides are long. What'll break you down.
13 hours.
Yes, and then with they going through that, coming from a certain city to doing that, and dealing with different language barriers at times with certain people, different cultures. What else? Some guys don't make it back the next season.
Other one that stood out is budgeting.
Yes, and budgeting.
Because you get meal money.
Yes, you get meal money.
And some of these guys, they have the money, but they think it can get more money, so they start to play cards and they lose their money.
Yes, they sure do.
So we're on a 5 or 6, well, say a 6-day road trip. They already lost their money the first day. And so this is, at the time, I didn't know it myself, but I wasn't involved. So you go to these restaurants and you see money on the table, you think you didn't realize it was tip for the waiter or waitress. But the guys are thinking that, somebody left the money, so they end up taking the money. It wasn't legal, but I didn't do it.
Well, the other thing is we're talking about 1969, 1970. Civil rights was a new thing at this point. So, and you're traveling, you're coming from
South.
California.
Yeah.
What was that like in different places? I mean, did you face struggles with that?
I was amazed with the things that were going on when I was playing. I wasn't really aware of a lot of it. So when I go back, this happened in 70 or 69. I said, where was I? I could relate to certain music, this record came out at this year or that year, but only really the place that I faced it, and the least place I thought it would was in Medford, Oregon.
Really?
It wasn't in the South. So in the South, you're prepared for it.
Yeah.
But there I wasn't prepared for it, because I usually do my walking before a game to get myself acclimated to the exercise, get my body loose. So I'm walking, and all of a sudden, people start coming out of their businesses, their office, and they're looking at me. They weren't
Like
greeting
this
me.
alien.
They were like in their eyes, like, "What are you doing here? Why are you?" So I just sped up, go back to the hotel, and stayed there until it's time to go to the game. So that was really the time in the minor league that I felt it.
Yeah. Interesting. What, Ethan, what is your favorite? You've been to a couple of different minor league things. What's your favorite thing about the minor leagues?
Man, probably my favorite thing is just the ease of access. There's only, 30 major league teams?
Right. Yeah.
But there's, 30 times 4,
There's so
Probably
many.
3 now, 3 to 4. yeah.
Okay, 3 to 4. So, there's, what is that math?
It's almost 100.
Yeah. Okay. So
120.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
So-
you're talking about minor leagues,
And then you got that on
so
top
many
of
different levels.
independent teams, which
Yeah.
is, they're not specifically affiliated, but they've got their connections. It's still the same kind of level. So here we have the Florence Freedom.
Y'all.
And that's right. They were the
Yawls.
Freedom. Now they're the Yawls.
Yeah.
But just the ease of access. There's so many more, and it's way cheaper.
Cheaper, yes, the
I just went to see the see the Tin Caps play the Dragons up in Fort Wayne. It cost me $17 to sit right behind home plate.
That's parking.
Exactly.
Yes, it is.
It cost me 4 times that for a okay seat, to go see the Reds play, which I get it. It's
a business.
You're seeing a higher. It's a better product. They're better players, better talent. I get that.
But you're watching players before they hit
exactly,
there, exactly.
And so that's one of my other favorite things is I love to. I recently went back and tried to find every MLB game I had went to, going based on like if I could find tickets or pictures we had taken at the game, and then go to that date and find the lineup and see who was playing then. And there's lots of times that it's somebody that you completely forgot about, so getting to go back and see what players have come through that stadium who you may have gotten to see before they got big. So, I've got my scorecard that I'm going to be checking over the next few years to see if any of those guys make it up there. So it has to be accessibility. That's the best part about it to me.
Yeah, the one thing I would encourage, if you're listening or watching on YouTube and you've never been to a minor league ball game, oh my gosh, go. There's one close by. I mean, within a couple hours or something, there's usually one near you somewhere. And
I love the entertainment.
So worth it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. That's what I have, the entertainment.
Right.
That's the key.
There wasn't a single, there was something going on between every inning.
Right.
And most of the time it was some sort of silly race
but
or
with the
activity.
fans, engaged. It was great.
Yeah. And so it's affordable. It's an easy way to take the family to a baseball game. Enjoy it, keep score, have a great time. It's just a good way to go. So yeah, I encourage everybody to go see. In preparing for the game we're going to play here in a minute, I was surprised at how many, as I went down through every name of minor leagues, every minor league team name in existence, I was surprised at how many I've seen play.
Oh, really?
Because I've only been to so many games, but when you go, you're knocking 2 names off the list.
Yeah.
So I've seen a lot of these teams play, which is kind of, or at least the local ones.
Yeah, I've been to a number of Tin Caps games just because my grandparents live up in Fort Wayne, and those will be memories I will always remember going to the game with my grandfather. And he wasn't even a huge baseball guy, but he liked going. And so I will never forget. There was one time we sat out in the outfield and they weren't even, I think we were sitting on grass or like concrete bleachers. They weren't even like actual seats, and a home run went over our head. And like, I'm never going to forget, you know what I mean? So, that kind of thing. But for whatever reason, most of the time I've gone to a game there, they've played the Lansing Lugnuts.
They have played the Lansing Lugnuts.
Yep.
And so I haven't gotten to cross as many
I have seen the Lansing Lugnuts in Fort
who
Wayne.
used to play? I think Lance Durham used to play for them and the Tin Caps. I think he played for both of them.
Cool.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Well, the one thing I wish was different about the minor leagues is I wish more people knew about it. I wish there was they're locally owned. Their marketing budgets are what they are, and they have to. Now, the Dayton Dragons do an amazing job of reaching the local community.
Sellout. They got a record of sellouts.
Yeah, they really do. But it can be a real struggle. I mean, it's a small business, and they're trying to make a go of it, and you don't charge an arm and a leg to get in, and so I wish more people knew about them because I think it's such a great opportunity to go to a.
It's a good family outing.
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah, if you've got multiple kids, I was talking to one of the kids upstairs in the child care center this morning when I was helping Leslie open up, and he's, I don't know, Connor's 10 maybe something, and we were talking about it. We're talking about what it costs to go to a ball game, and when I told him the difference of what it costs to go see the Reds versus what it costs to go see a minor league team, and I said, you go see the Reds, you could pay $50 a ticket or more, and he goes, "Is that a lot?" And I said, "How many people are in your family?" He said, "Well, there's 5." I said, "If your dad takes all 5 of you to go see that, he's paying $100 before he ever buys a hot dog, plus tax." So he's like, "Yeah, that is a lot." And I said, "Yeah, it can be. It can be an investment to go and spend. But if you could spend 1/5 of that and take everybody and go get a hot dog and have a good time, then that's cool." So that's my thing. I wish there.
But that was fun for me in spring training. when I was going there with Ferguson Jenkins Foundation. We would sign at different ballparks. So you're seeing the prices that they're charging. So like Chick-fil-A, they're charging maybe 2 times as much at the ballpark, but you can buy it on the way. But people say, "Oh, this is baseball food. I want to buy it here. I want to say I bought peanuts here and I had a beer here," and they don't really question the pricing. I mean, they may grumble about it, but well, it is what it is.
Right. Yeah. Level swing. Let it travel. Wait for your pitch. Be aggressive out there. It's no wonder young players get confused at the plate. What if your son or daughter could learn not only how to hit the ball, but also where to hit it, when to hit it there, and why? George Foster has played baseball at the very highest levels. He was the National League MVP when he hit 52 home runs and 149 RBIs in a single season. He led the major leagues in home runs twice and RBIs 3 times. He was a 5-time All-Star, a Silver Slugger, and he helped the Reds win back-to-back World Series. During his 15-year career, George developed a unique approach to hitting that made him one of the greatest hitters of all time, and now your favorite player can learn it too. That's right, baseball legend George Foster is currently accepting new students. Learn the psychology of hitting, situational hitting, hitting for power, bunting, and more. Every team needs players who can hit, and George explains the game in a way that's easy to understand and exciting to learn. So check out GeorgeFosterBaseball.com to learn how you can apply for private lessons with a member of the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame. Spots are limited, and the roster will fill up fast, so don't wait. Apply at GeorgeFosterBaseball.com. So what we're going to do is we're going to play Mascot or Make Believe. And the cities are real. They have real teams in them. But some of the team names are real and some of the team names are not. And so I'm gonna read it out, and then everybody gets a chance to say whether they think it's Mascot or Make Believe, and then we'll find out who scored a point.
Oh, so George can't just yell louder?
Yeah,
than everybody?
no, you don't get to just yell it out.
We have to go call on each person. You can't just
Everybody
shout it
gets,
out.
everybody gets a chance to score here.
All right.
Okay, so we'll get a chance.
No,
So it's like raising
that's
your
not-
hand,
No,
or
it's not fair.
We just did an episode on how to play all your players. Okay, so hang in there. All right, the very first one, the Altoona Curve.
oh, that's real.
Oh, wait a minute. Who's going first?
We'll just go this way.
Now you're going this way because he raised
Pittsburgh
his hand.
Pirates. I have two
Rick
friends of
Rick
mine
says
that
it.
played
Rick,
there.
all you get to do is say
Okay.
real or not.
All right, real.
Because then you're gonna make us, then we'll know. You got to keep it. You got to keep that a secret.
Okay, we're gonna start over.
Okay, my fault. I done messed up already.
Rick
gave
got
us
too
the
excited.
answer.
Okay,
already knew that.
all right. We're gonna the first one. Here we go. We'll cut into this.
Yeah.
The first one. Okay, the Beloit Sky Carp.
I'm gonna say that's false.
The
I don't-
Beloit Sky Carp. Rick,
Who's
is
up?
Is it Mascot or Make Believe?
Today. We need to answer today.
That's current. That's
Correct?
You're saying
yes, that's
Mascot.
correct. Yeah, it's mascot.
Okay, George.
I say no.
Make Believe.
I'm gonna say make believe.
Rick scores. The Beloit Sky Carp
Beloit.
are actually a team. Yes.
That's almost like that's too crazy to make it up.
Yeah.
You know why I know that? I can't say.
All right. Number two, the Bradenton Baby Sharks. Ethan, you go first.
What?
I'm gonna say false. I'm gonna say make believe on that one too.
I'm going to say yes.
You're saying it's Mascot?
Yes.
Okay.
Make believe.
It is Make Believe. That's Ethan.
But I know it, the Braden,
Bradenton does have a team, but they are not the Baby Sharks.
not
Okay.
close to the water.
The San Antonio Alamos.
Ooh.
What do you think, Ethan?
How much time do you get?
I'm gonna say make believe again.
Okay.
'Cause
I'm going to say yes. I mean, it's real.
Okay.
Mascot.
Mascot. What are you saying?
Make believe.
2 more points for these guys. It is not the San
Again,
Antonio
shut up.
Alamos. It is the San Antonio Mission.
That was a trick. Oh, yeah. The Mission, not the Alamo.
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
David Crockett.
The El Paso Chihuahuas.
Ooh.
That is a mascot.
Okay.
That is a mascot, says Rick.
That's a mascot.
That's a point for everybody.
Oh, no.
That is a point
Rick
for
got to put his
everybody.
poker face on.
Yeah, He said it with enthusiasm.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to help you.
I
Everybody.
wanted to get shut out. I didn't want to point.
The
Pick it up.
Jupiter Hammerheads. Rick. The Jupiter Hammerheads.
Mascot.
Mascot.
I'm gonna say make believe.
These two score, you do not. It is a mascot.
Take that, youngster.
It is a mascot. Okay, here we go. The Somerset Sand Gnats.
Oh.
I'm gonna say make believe again because I think it's something different.
I'll go with Ethan. Make believe.
Mascot.
Make believe.
Yeah.
Is
It
it like,
is a sand gnats, but it's
Now,
not.
it's the sand
It
something
was
else.
it was
isn't
the
it?
Savannah Sand Gnats before they became the Savannah Bananas.
Yeah.
But Somerset does have a team, but they are not the
Yes,
Sand Gnats.
Okay,
Okay.
so George and I scored on that one.
Yes. Yes.
So this is all
That's a good
trickied
one.
up here. This
Yeah.
is a good one. All right, the Norfolk Narwhals.
I'm gonna say mascot.
Norfolk. Yeah. Yeah. I'll go with Ethan.
Make believe.
It is make believe.
Oh, man.
It's the Tide.
It is. Yeah, it is. You're right. The Norfolk Tide. That's
The
right.
Tide.
They've been in
Oh, that's
two.
right.
They've been in two cities.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Man.
Ready?
That's the
Ready for this one?
best.
The Hickory Crawdads, Rick.
Hickory. Can't be Hickory.
You threw a
Hickory-
curve there.
Hickory smoke.
Crawdads. There is a team.
But there's
I'm
smoke.
just gonna say mascot.
Make believe.
I'll say make believe.
It is a mascot. The Hickory Crawdads are
See, I
real.
told you I do.
Hickory
They out
Crawdads are
of
real.
North Carolina.
Yeah. Okay. The Reno Roustabouts, Ethan.
Ooh. Reno, yes.
I'm gonna say mascot.
I'm gonna say no. Make believe.
Make believe.
It is make believe. They are not the Roustabouts.
It's
What in the
Reno-
world? Even I
it's
thought that was
Reno,
too crazy to even make up.
No, it's,
It's
Reno.
a Reno slot machine.
Oh, what is it? Reno. I know.
I don't
just
remember
seen
off
it.
the top of my head.
Reno, Nevada.
The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, Ethan.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say mascot.
Ooh. This is
Is it
It's
the
synonymous.
the
No,
Reno
I-
Aces, Rick?
That's
yeah.
what it is.
Reno
Yeah.
Aces.
Yes.
I
Yep.
say make believe.
That's a mascot. They're with the Florida Marlins.
It absolutely is a mascot. The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp are a team.
I did know that one. I considered buying that hat.
I thought you said buying
Okay.
that franchise.
The Peoria Pancakes. Rick.
Not a mascot.
Of Peoria, not.
That's a mascot.
Nope.
Is it the Pandas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It's not the Pandas.
Isn't there
Peoria. Oh man.
One of them is actually called the
Josh,
Trash Pandas, but that's
Josh. Josh.
Josh.
Harrison. He played for them. Yeah, he used to play
No,
for the
I got them
Peoria.
confused with a different one, but I'll bring that up.
They're the
not it. All
Cubs.
right.
Yeah,
Okay. Here we go. Ready? The Visalia Vice Grips. Ethan.
I'm gonna say make believe.
Vice grip. I would say yes.
Make believe.
It is make believe.
Every time you guys get it together.
Visalia is not the Vice Grip.
Yep, it is. It.
Okay. The Biloxi Shuckers. Rick.
Shucker.
Shuckers. Like corn shuckers. Like the Biloxi Shuckers.
There is a team
No.
in Biloxi.
There.
I'm just gonna say yeah. On
No,
this
they've
one.
got casinos there though.
Yeah.
No.
I'll say that's a mascot.
It is a mascot. The Biloxi Shuckers.
Yes.
It's just shuffle. Shuffle
It just sounds
cards.
too country.
That's funny. The Hudson Valley Hubcaps. Ethan.
I'm gonna say mascot.
I'll say mascot. Just a guess.
Hudson Valley. What was that?
Hubcaps.
Mascot.
You're all wrong. I got you all on that one.
Wow.
That is make believe. There is a team in Hudson Valley.
Yeah, and they're
But
part of
they
the
are not the
Phillies,
Hub-
I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they are not the Hubcaps. Okay.
I figured if there could be lug nuts, there could be hubcaps.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. The Hartford Yard Goats.
I'm gonna say mascot.
Oh, yeah. Mascot.
Make believe.
It is a mascot.
I knew that.
Yeah,
I knew
Hartford.
The Hartford Yard Goats. Yes,
I
they
knew
are.
that one.
Hartford.
Okay, let's see what we got left. The Kannapolis Cannonballers.
Oh,
Rick?
mascot.
He's smiling, man.
Oh, you got Ethan?
I'm gonna have to go mascot.
It is a mascot.
Yay.
Rick just gave y'all a point.
I gotta watch his face.
I just seen that.
when he
not too-
hesitates, that's
What?
not.
What?
Oh, my Lance, I got to play poker with this
What did
guy.
you say was the? What was the city name?
Kannapolis.
Kannapolis.
Oh, I thought maybe you made that up. But
Nope.
okay.
No, that's a
Kannapolis.
real. Yes,
That's funny. Where is that?
Where's Kannapolis?
I have no
Maryland?
idea. I have no idea. I think it
somewhere
is
near
up, up there in New,
Yes,
in New
it
England.
is.
Though. Yeah. Goodness gracious. So what do we got?
North Carolina, Kannapolis with a K.
Yeah.
North Carolina.
Is that where it is? Okay.
Yep, that's in that.
The Omaha Ocelots.
Ocelot.
I'm gonna say that's make believe.
Make believe.
George is trying to read Rick's face.
He's tentative.
Ocelots.
He's gonna do next
I'm
episode.
gonna say make believe.
It is make believe. You guys got it all right.
Rick's gonna play next time with sunglasses on.
All right. I think. Let me see. I think that's all of them. I don't think I
Really?
have any more.
How many do I have?
Rick had a pretty clear win on that one.
Let me see. Yeah.
By how
Let me
much?
see if I have
Rick
any
had
more.
14, George had 8, and I had 10.
Oh, we got to do two more.
That's
though.
not-
That's
All
pretty
right.
good. Don't
I was on the board, but it's
pretty-
these-
no flies on Rick when it comes
Okay.
to the minor leagues,
He's
man.
got his minor leagues down, buddy.
I know, but these.
A lot of people I knew that played. in the leagues, man.
Someday I'm gonna
And
have
didn't-
a
and didn't
mental
get
grasp.
past.
Someday I'm gonna have some idea of how many people you know.
No, they
because
don't make a
I
phone
can
book
only
big enough for that.
imagine.
A lot.
I don't know that. I don't know of anybody who knows more people.
I
think.
love listening to what George. I'm like, man, George. Well, I'm like, man, I can feel it. I can feel myself being there, and just I'm probably the water bottle, just sitting there listening.
At what point did the power chops come into play? That's important, real
That's
quick.
important. We need to know when did you grow the chops?
Maybe I was being belligerent, probably around 72.
Okay.
Because we weren't allowed facial hair. Okay. So I decided to grow the sideburns, and I followed Elvis Presley, and I want to be. So I think it probably 72.
Okay.
Now, did Griffey go with you, or did he come after the deal?
Well, Griff, he was more known for the natural.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see.
Yeah,
It
that
was-
saved his life when.
It was the hair, not the.
Yeah, it wasn't the sideburns. But some guys, they try to, like what Yogi Bear said, you try to imitate, but you can't be like me. You got to imitate if you're going to emulate, something like that.
Oh, my goodness.
And so I left off things like the sea wolves,
Yeah.
and the lug nuts and the local
They
guys here.
got the white caps and
Yeah,
the
the
rock
white
hounds,
caps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the mud hens,
rock
Mud
hounds,
hens,
and
all
iron
those.
pigs, and
Yeah, especially if you're down south, that's a great place to see the
Memphis
minor leagues
Redbirds,
because
man.
you don't have a lot of
Yeah, that
MLB
was-
down there, but you got a lot of minor leagues.
yeah,
down there.
because there's quite a few in Alabama, and there's
Yes, it
a couple
is.
in Mississippi too. I think.
Mississippi.
Myrtle Beach
Yes.
Penguins.
Yeah. I got
Pelicans.
I got the
Pelicans.
Yeah. I did. We did see them. I got the pancakes confused with the biscuits.
Ah, yeah.
There's a-
Yes,
I was
yes,
picturing.
that's
I was
what it was,
picturing a
the
cylinder
biscuits.
with butter on top.
The
and I was-
Montgomery biscuits.
Yeah, I was like,
Montgomery biscuits.
look, that might be pancakes, but it was
Yeah,
biscuits.
they were a good one. The
But
Montgomery
in the we're talking early about the mascots. I didn't know that the Paws. It's called Paws. The name of the mascot. That's Detroit.
Okay.
And so it's like it's number one. It's rated number one. But I would think, but the San Diego is no longer San Diego Chicken. They have a different name now. But the Philly Fanatic has to be the number one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
one of probably
He
the
is.
most well known.
Yeah.
After the chicken, he's probably one of the most well known. And the chicken isn't really a thing. Like if you grew up in the '80s, everybody knew who the San
everyone
Diego
knew.
Chicken was.
Yes.
But that's
70s, 80s.
not,
yes.
not the same
Yes.
thing anymore. But then, with the I'm just thinking just from right here, you can easily see a lot of those teams that we mentioned, the Chattanooga Lookouts,
I
You even played
at
Nashville
played there.
Sounds.
Yeah.
They State, yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's a nice stadium.
just in Ohio.
Now it is, but when I was roving, that
Yeah.
was one of the worst.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just in Ohio, you
Huntington.
have Dayton. You have Dayton Dragons, Columbus Clippers, Toledo Mud Hens, Akron Rubber Ducks.
Yes.
Probably forgetting one.
Well, and if you're down in this corner, then it's easy to get to the
Indianapolis.
Louisville Rats.
Indianapolis.
Yeah, Indianapolis,
Louisville,
Louisville.
yeah.
Yeah. So
So lots of those fun things. So hopefully you guys had a good time playing along with us and having a little fun talking
was
about
fun.
the minor
That was
leagues.
fun.
Give a
And,
hand for Rick. Rick Finley won. Yay, boo. Yay, boo.
All right. So hopefully you guys had a good time with us, and you'll be joining us again next week when we'll tackle some other great topic about baseball. And until then, have a great time, and we'll see you next time on the Complete Game Podcast. We hope you've enjoyed the Complete Game Podcast, the show that's all about baseball. New episodes drop each week, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. If you'd like to support the podcast, consider leaving us a 5-star rating, or better yet, drop us a comment or a question and let us know what you think. The Complete Game Podcast is produced and distributed by 2 Creative Digital Marketing. Check us out at 2creativedigital.com. On behalf of Ethan, Coach Rick, and the Silver Slugger George Foster, I'm Greg Dungan saying have a great week, and we'll see you real soon.